1 Prologue. You are listening at FameTV.info. Disclaimer. I don't own Naruto. Kishimoto does. Author's note. Hey there readers, this is gonna be my first ever time travel story and official story for this site. So I really hope you go easy on me because I'm just a newbie here. Thank you and enjoy. Plot summary. During the fight with Kawaki in a destroyed Konoha, Boruto unknowingly gets himself sent back in time along with his little sister and Uchiha teammate. Back to the past prologue. A barren wasteland is what you could call the once progressive place known as Konoha. Buildings and homes were now ravaged into pieces, and there was barely any signs of any life. Not even the 7 Hokage faces were spared from destruction. All of them were completely damaged, and on the 7th's destroyed face, 2 human figures could be seen fighting. The battle had just begun and it was clear that there was no turning back. A young blonde man knelt down on the rocky surface, holding the handle of his blade that was stuck deep in the ground. His face was covered with dust, a few small cuts, and a right eye which is badly scarred. There was a sense of calmness in him as he kept quiet. He opened his left eye, its color a cerulean blue, and stared at the opponent in front of him. I didn't know that you go this far, Kawaki. 16-year. Old Boruto Uzumaki calmly said. Even with all the horrible deaths and destruction that he witnessed, he still managed to control his rage. His counterpart, who was revealed to be none other than Kawaki himself, just stood there holding his staff, looking down at the latter with pride and arrogance. It's hopeless now, I will send you to where I sent the 7th, Boruto. Kawaki cruelly stated. There will be a new world under his reign and everything existing in this current world must be erased to make way. The age of shinobi is over. The wind blew stronger than it had before, its breeze rustling through the rubble surrounding them the only sound as they both fell into a tense silence. Boruto kept his gaze steady and jaw hard set as he reached for his pocket. He drew out an old Konoha headband, the only difference on it was the harsh slash that ran through the middle of its leaf symbol. The blonde then slowly raised the headband and wrapped it around his head. At the same time, looked up with determined eyes, ready to finish this once and for all. He opened his right eye, finally revealing the Jogan. The blue had drained from the iris into white with a darkened sclera and visible pupil. Then, small dark tattoos began to appear around his right eye down to his arms and hands. In his mind though, he was a bit puzzled about why Boruto would still want to fight after his home had already been completely destroyed. Desiring an answer, he almost asked, but the blonde spoke first. His blonde counterpart on why the latter would still want to fight since his home had been destroyed. He was going to ask that question until the latter spoke. Then you're wrong. I'm still a shinobi. Boruto exclaimed as he charged as fast as lightning towards Kawaki, his blade poised to strike. But Kawaki just smirked and lunged as well, now even more determined to put the teen back in his place. As the 2 high-level ninjas clashed, their chakra and energy were emitted in extreme amounts, each hoping that the other would end up defeated. Boruto's mind was consumed with various thoughts, but most centered around his doubts and fears, making him wonder if he should be the one to give up. What if I fail to defeat Kawaki? What will happen to the rest of the people that I love if I lose to him, he wondered. Boruto shook his head to rid himself of the self-defeating thoughts. He was not going to give up and let his little sister and the others become victims of this destruction. There is no turning back now. He thought as he prepared himself for what could come. Unbeknownst to the Uzumaki, a certain worried, short, lavender-haired girl and an exhausted raven-haired Uchiha teen had managed to escape the horrors and death from earlier. They arrived on the scene moments after Boruto began his battle and were witnessing the death match. We need to help Ni-chan. Himawari stated worriedly. She was concerned about her big brother and was eager to protect and save him. No Hima. It's dangerous. Sarada protested. She was thinking logically and knew that they could just get in the way and potentially injured or killed. Boruto's eyes widened in shock when two familiar voices reached his ears. Hima. Sarada. What the heck are they doing here? He thought as he continued to charge towards his enemy. But it was too late to stop. As his sword clashed with Kawaki's staff, a huge wave of energy surged outward with sparks of lightning appearing around the area. Boruto didn't realize that the Jugen in his right eye was glowing out of control, it being the cause of the lightning and growing energy. Meanwhile, Himawari, who was near the point of breaking down, suddenly charged towards the main scene in the goal of helping her big brother. He was the only family member she had right then, and it was too difficult for her to witness another death of a loved one. She'd already seen her mother risk her life to protect her. Sarada, who was surprised by the Uzumaki girl's actions, followed. Hima. What are you doing? She exclaimed. She understood what the younger girl had been going through, as she had also witnessed her own mama and papa giving their lives to save her, but rushing into an obviously dangerous situation was not the smart thing to do. Himawari ignored the raven-haired girl's pleas and continued towards the two young men who were barely even due to the sparks of lightning that had very much engulfed the scene. Sarada quickly acted on the situation and proceeded to catch up with Himawari, who was nearing the main site. I need to get her before she. Sarada started, only to be cut off when a powerful wave of energy, one that she had never seen or felt before, hit her. It was followed by a bright flash of light so large that it completely engulfed her and the others. Boruto was shocked as the sparkles of lightning suddenly stilled and a sudden flash of bright light hit his eyes. He found himself being engulfed by that light as if a giant shark swallowed him whole in a matter of seconds. If anyone were to witness the whole scene unfold from a distance, the last thing that they would see or witnessed was a giant, powerful explosion. It was so massive that it would be compared to a single drop of an atomic bomb, and the whole place was engulfed by the explosion. Before blacking out, Boruto's last thoughts centered around his family. He wondered if he would get to see them soon. His mom, dad, and everyone else. He was expecting a peaceful ending to his life, and he was looking forward to it. Although, fate had bigger and better plans for him. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.